Hello, and welcome to the Aligned Actor Podcast. I'm Amy Schloerb, your friendly fellow actor and mindfulness and mindset coach. And this is the podcast where I offer practical mindfulness tools and mindset shifts to help us all thrive in our full actor lives, because we deserve to thrive in our full actor lives, despite the havoc that the entertainment industry likes to wreak on our nervous systems. We are not powerless in the face of all of that. We have tools at our disposal, things that we can do, ways that we can shift our minds, ways that we can shift our consciousness maybe, or just our bodies, our nervous systems, so that we can set ourselves up for success and thrive and care for ourselves in an industry that really doesn't give an S or an F or an anything about us. We can care for ourselves, and we must care for ourselves. And this is another walk and talk episode of the Aligned Actor Podcast. So you're gonna hear helicopters, you're gonna hear the jingle jangle of doggy collars, you might hear the rustling of a poop bag, if you're lucky. I'm out on a walk with my dogs, but I wanted to record this episode because I have an idea for you, which is something I've talked about in the past, but it's worth mentioning again. Go for a quiet walk. Now, that might sound odd to say, or ironic to say, as you're listening to all these various sounds around me. The helicopters, the cars, the birds, birds are kind of nice, but the rustling of the dogs, the whatever. What I mean by a quiet walk, so this seems like not a quiet walk at all, right? But what I mean by go for a quiet walk is go for a walk without input and without chosen external stimulation in the form of a podcast or an audiobook or, I don't know, watching something on your phone while you're walking. I think I see people doing that in my neighborhood, and it's a little weird because I'm like, how are you, like, don't trip, please don't fall. But anyway, a quiet walk where you're literally just walking, noticing, looking at the things around you, listening to the sounds around you, even if they're annoying, even if it's helicopters and planes and barking dogs and leaf blowers. However you feel about the sounds, you're just observing, you're just witnessing. There is something really powerful about that. It's very mindful, obviously. It very much brings you into the present moment. Whereas if you're listening to a podcast or an audiobook, you're in your mind. You're probably imagining, what do those podcast people look like? What does their studio look like? Oh, they're talking about a video game, or they're talking about something that happened, and now I'm picturing that event or that level of the video game, depending on what the podcast is. Or if you're listening to an audiobook, and that audiobook is doing a really great job of creating a world that you're seeing in your mind's eye and experiencing in that way. And that's all great. Trust me, I listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks when I'm out on walks with my dogs. But I also do sometimes what's called a quiet walk, which is what I've been talking about here today. And I'm finding it funny that I'm walking past a construction site as I'm talking about a quiet walk. But again, it's not a silent walk. It's a quiet walk. Just meaning I haven't chosen what to put in my ears. I'm not controlling the input. The present moment is controlling the input. So I'm hearing the rolling of a dolly cart. I'm hearing the pss, pss, of a nail gun at the construction site. I'm hearing hammering at the construction site. I'm hearing the jingle jangle of my doggy's collars. All kinds of things. I'm also hearing birds. And I'm seeing, there's another bird. I'm seeing the world around me. I'm not in my mind in the pictures of the podcast or the audiobook. I'm not in the inner world, I'm in the outer world. I'm in my present moment. And that is a way to practice mindfulness. It's an informal way to practice mindfulness. We're not sitting still, focusing on our breath. We're literally just being and existing in the present moment. And I would say it's one of maybe the best practices, or a great practice, best. Why qualify it in that way? But it's a really great way to practice mindfulness because it is your present moment. And it's something that you can do anytime, anywhere. You can practice it when you're in line at the grocery store, or in traffic, or at a museum, or wherever you are. You can be there. That sounds very Yogi Berra of me. But wherever you are, you can practice just being in that moment and observing yourself in that present moment, rather than going to your phone for input, immediately having your headphones in, listening to something for input. Just practice being and existing and taking in your present moment, because you don't know what will come on the podcast of life, as it were. And I don't know, it's just kind of, it's fun. It's a way to practice mindfulness, and it's a fun one, and it can continue to help you with those ripple effects of, you becoming more mindful, more self-aware, more situationally aware, and all of that is very good for you overall. And it helps you in many, many different ways. And a little later on the podcast, we are going to get into the ways that mindfulness is really beneficial for actors and how it helps us all. But taking a quiet walk, I think one of the biggest benefits of that is it's very regulating for the nervous system. It's very calming, it's very relaxing, it's very present moment oriented. So you're not off in the future, you're not back in the past, you're in the present. And in the present, things are normally okay. And then when you notice that you're off in the future or you're back in the past, you can easily direct yourself to the present just by observing the world around you, noticing what's happening on your quiet walk. So that's what I have for you today. There's just a little idea I wanted to share. It's something that really helps me calm down and feel more relaxed and at ease and regulate my nervous system in those ways. So I wanted to share that with you whilst I was actually out doing it. I was actually out on a walk and doing it quietly. I did not have a podcast in my ears. I was recording a podcast out of my mouth. So there you go. All right. As always, you can go to my website, thealignedactor.com, to find out more about me, Amy Schloerb, and my work. And I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Bye-bye.